Hey, come here.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm thinking of having the other librarians over for kind of like a big party game day. Probably play Smash Bros.
Cool, cool. You should play Trine.
Okay. Little Big Planet?
Trine.
WarioWare Move It?
Play Trine!
Okay, what are you saying?
Trine.
Okay, I don't know what that is or what you're doing. I don't even know why I ask you for help, honestly, most of the time.
Just try it out. I promise you'll love it. Everybody gives it huge reviews. It's fine.
Fine.
Trine.
I'll go look it up. But we'll see. Today's Rewind is going to cover not just one game, but 4 games that span over a decade of gaming. We've got entries in 2009, 2011, 2015, 2019, and even one as recently as 2023. That means the series in question for today's Rewind is Trine. I do want to put one disclaimer on this video. Trine 5 is the one that came out in 2023. I got Trine 1 through 4 for free through an Epic Game Store bundle, so I did not play Trine 5. But I have a sneaking suspicion exactly what it is. So let's talk about it. First, let's go over the basics. What is Trine? Trine is a series of games that are all platforming, physics-based puzzle-solving games that would see you assume the role of 3 different heroes. You have Pontius, the Brave Knight, Zoya, the Thief, and Amadeus, the Magician, each with their own unique skills and abilities that need to be used in tandem to complete the levels. Theoretically. The games can be played 1 to 3 players, where a character can either play through all 3 of them and intertwine their abilities, or each friend that's playing assumes the role of one of the heroes, and you have to work together with your friends to solve the puzzles. Again, theoretically. Trine 1, obviously the first game in the series, features an enchanting storybook aesthetic and offers side-scrolling gameplay in a 2D puzzling environment that the other games would then proceed to build on. Trine 2 operates as basically a mechanical sequel to Trine 1, taking everything that Trine 1 was and improving its flow, the character's uniqueness, and the puzzles. Trine 4 again operates as a mechanical sequel to 2, further improving the flow, the powers, and the diversity of the characters and the environments. Now Trine 3 specifically decided to just cowboy it, and they added a 3D element that the other ones didn't have, and it did not go over well with the fans, who were confused and found the puzzles too complex and not well executed because it wasn't a system that was used to being 3D. So in a game all about platforming, let's talk about the pitfalls. I was saying earlier when I was introducing the characters that it was designed around intercooperability through the characters, and I kept adding theoretically, because the characters do not seem to scale evenly whatsoever. The Thief Girl has a grappling hook that allows you to swing and elevate yourself, and you can tie it to objects and pull them up with like an elevator system. So she's Spider-Man. So in a game about platforming and overcoming obstacles, one of your characters is Spider-Man. Why wouldn't you pick that? Oh, I know why. Amadeus, the wizard, the only move that he has in the game is to create boxes. And as you level up, he can get more boxes. So think about this. So in a game where the idea is to jump over obstacles or try to find your way up certain terrain, you have a character who just makes terrain. So why wouldn't you do that? Every problem that I played through, my team really solved it with just making a box. If you need to do a little seesaw, just make a box on the other side. If you have a jump that's too big, make a box and make the jump smaller, and then it's easy. If there's a big gap, put some boxes in the gap, and then you have a platform, no big deal. And every so often, there'll be a section where you get walled into a fight, and it just depends. Sometimes it's like a poisonous flower, sometimes it's shadow creatures. It depends on the story of that specific game. But then Pontius really takes effect, which kind of makes me think that this area is the only time Pontius is usable. He's not the most mobile, he doesn't have the best jump, he has no real traversal mechanics, but if you get attacked, he's the easiest. Now you can fight the attackers with the other 2, but it's easier with Pontius. But again, why have that? Why have a whole section just for one character that really just feels like somebody liked this character and then had to then later justify him in the game. It just seems contrived. But don't you worry, I'm not the only one who had a problem with this. The reviews speak for themselves, with Trine 1 receiving scores as low as 9 out of 10. Trine 4 is an 8 out of 10. Trine 3 is a 6 out of 10. I told you nobody liked that one. Trine 2 is a 10 out of 10? Who's reviewing this? They're a Yakuza front. I've decided. I have stumbled across a Yakuza front. In 2011, when Trine 2 came out, we also got Skyrim, Dark Souls, Portal 2, and Little Big Planet. And this game got a 10 out of 10. I mean, like, I know it's not comparative. Like, multiple games could have 10 out of 10, but it's not like we were hurting for multiplayer games. It's not like we were hurting for big name games. I'm in shock, truly. Truly mind blow. Because I also think that for having this many games, it's got some weird technical limitations. Like, I could have dealt with it if it was just in Trine 1, but there's just some compatibility issues that I experienced, and maybe it's just because of the way I play. I play every game on a controller, and there were certain settings that it would even tell me were locked out until I got a keyboard and mouse. Why can I play the game with a controller, but then have to use a keyboard and mouse in the settings if you know you have a controller connected? That seems weird. On a more positive note though, there is a community around Trine that loves and supports this game, obviously enough to get 5 and probably more if they keep clamoring for it. You find support for it on every forum, clearly in the reviews. People love it. People are drawn and wrapped up in this fantasy storybook aesthetic, which I do feel like it nails. Trine absolutely has its own universe that once you see it, you can recognize it any other time. But that sense of familiarity is what also gives rise to my earlier comment about Trine 5. I don't really need to play it because I bet it's Trine. I bet it's the same aesthetic. It's always the same 3 heroes, roughly the same assortment of puzzles, with roughly the same solutions. Zoya can swing over him, Amadeus can make a box, and Pontius can help that someone helps him. But with all that information, the question is still like it always has been and like it always will be, is Trine as a series worth your time? Let's talk about it. I tried my best in this video to be neutral, but I did see a lot of negatives in this game that I thought should be addressed. And it might just be a me thing, because even the other librarians that I had play with me and experience said it was a really good game. They said, oh, I can't wait for this video because you're going to glaze it and it's going to be so good and we're going to relive all these memories. And I'm not going to do any of that, because the question for this channel is it worth your time? In a modern day, in the year 2026, should I tell you to pick up Trine? And no, I don't think it's worth your time, especially not in a universe where we do have Little Big Planet, which is another physics, fun, party, friend like game, where we have all of the Lego games, the Lego superhero games, the Lego Star Wars games. I cannot see a universe where I'm at the store and any of the Little Big Planets, any of the Trines, or any of the Lego games are on the shelf and I even give Trine a second glance. The issue with Trine, that it really is with all puzzle games, is if you make the puzzles too hard, you're immediately a niche. So you make the puzzles a little bit easy, but if they're too easy, then they feel like kids games. And there's nothing wrong with that. I spend a lot of time on kids games, but I spend a lot of time on kids games that have a lot of fun and whimsy and stuff. I like Little Big Planet. I've replayed that multiple times. I like the Lego games. I've played all of those that I can get because they're funny. When I can go through a Lego game as Squirrel Girl and the other librarians Galactus and we're just solving street crimes and stopping muggers, that's super funny to me. And I would take that over a game that doesn't offer anything but rudimentary puzzles. Trine offers you a chance to hang out with your friends and heck around, and whoever's Amadeus can screw up the other players by putting boxes in their way and do little fun things like that. But still not at the level that Little Big Planet does, where you can fully interact with your friends and you can emote and you can dress up together and you can put stickers on stuff and decorate things. That offers a way larger playground for that. So it doesn't do the puzzles super well, and it doesn't do the fun friend space thing very well either. There's just are better games that do any of it. Not to mention in gaming, we're in the rise of what people call friend slop, which is just like a weirdly derogatory term for multiplayer games where you have fun with your friends, and the priority is to have fun more so than successfully complete any mission. I've never played one of those, factually, but they seem more fun than Trine. So, again, it does a little bit of things, and if you're one of those players that love Trine, then cool, but you didn't need a video to review that for you. It does a little bit of each thing, but not even enough to call it a jack of all trades. It just doesn't do very well for me. Now, I found a ton of people defending it online, and like I said, the other librarians were upset when they found out this was going to be a more negative video, so I don't know what to tell you, but it's my channel, and I don't recommend it. So if you disagree with me, or you want to come defend Trine down in the comments, let me know. Thank you for watching.